Hey there, welcome to Tim Talks Cooking. I'm Tim, and today I'm making keto cut-out Christmas sugar cookies. I think you're going to love this recipe as much as I do. And who doesn't like making Christmas cookies this time of year? These, of course, you could give away to your keto friends, or you could keep them here to entertain your own guests and yourself. They're just delicious, easy to make, and I think really fun. And while we go along, we're also going to talk about the nutritional information for the recipe for each of the ingredients. In fact, about halfway through, I'll stop. Actually, when we let the dough rest in the refrigerator the first time, I'm going to discuss the macros for the whole recipe. And since I don't know how many cookies we're going to end up with, we won't be able to figure the precise macros for each portion until the end of the video. So stick with us. Anyway, listen, let's get down to that recipe, okay? Now, even though this is a gluten-free recipe, it's pretty much going to follow the same rules of making cookies that you already know. This starts off with a half a cup of unsalted butter, softened, right? That's 4 ounces or 113 grams. We're just going to put that in the bowl of our stand mixer, as well as 2 tablespoons, that's an ounce or 28 grams of cream cheese, which is also softened and at room temperature here. I'm just going to dump that right on in there. And as usual, we're going to cream this together with the sweetener. Here I'm going to add in 2/3 of a cup, that's 3 ounces or 85 grams of my homemade sweetener. You can use whatever sweetener you like and whatever quantity you like, of course. Here we're just going to dump that right on in there and blend it together really thoroughly in our stand mixer. You could use a hand mixer as well. You can do this by hand if you like as well. I'm going to mix that right on in there. Let her rip a little bit there. You can see the butter is starting to lighten up in color. And now here we're going to stop and scrape down the bowl to make sure that there's nothing left in the bottom and that we get all of the ingredients well incorporated. Here we go. It's looking pretty good there. Now we're going to add in the almond flour. Here I've got 1 3/4 cup, that's 6 ounces or 170 grams of almond flour, blanched almond flour. Use whatever kind of almond flour you like. Mix it on in. Next, we're going to add in 3/8 of a cup, that's 3 ounces or 85 grams of coconut flour. Okay, and now scrape the bowl down once again. Now, time to add a few flavorings in. Here I'm going to add in 2 teaspoons of pure vanilla extract. Start the mixer first. Pour it right on in there. And 1/4 teaspoon of almond extract. It's going to be a great flavor in the background. Now, before we can roll this out and cut it into cookies, we're going to need to refrigerate it. As you'll see, this is a pretty moist dough. In fact, it's fairly sticky. Here, I'm going to turn it out onto a sheet of plastic wrap. And now, of course, you could just put the bowl into the refrigerator or put it into whatever kind of container you like. I'm going to put it on plastic wrap. I think it's the most efficient. And so here, I'm going to spread it out and wrap it up just like this. Fold the sides in and the top, and then pat it out into a nice disc shape. And we're going to put this in the refrigerator for at least an hour. While we're waiting for our dough to get cold in the refrigerator, let's talk about the nutritional facts for each ingredient that we've used. We started off here with a half a cup of butter, that's 4 ounces or 113 grams. That has 810 calories. It has 0.1 grams of net carbs. It has 92 grams of fat and 1 gram of protein. To that we added 2 tablespoons of cream cheese. That has 98 calories. It's an ounce, by the way. 98 calories, 1.2 grams of net carbs, 10 grams of fat, and 1.8 grams of protein. We added sweetener to that. That has no nutritional value, so it's 0, 0, 0 for each category, right? To that, we added almond flour, 170 grams, that's 1 3/4 cups or 6 ounces. That has 1,050 calories. It's got 24 grams of net carbs, 88 grams of fat, and 48 grams of protein. For the coconut flour we added, that was 3/8 of a cup, that comes out to 1.5 ounces or 42 grams. That has 180 calories. It also has 12 grams of net carbs, and you know net carbs are the total carbs minus the grams of dietary fiber. We've also got 6 grams of fat and 10 grams of protein for the coconut flour. Now, for the totals, what we end up with is this. You've got, for the whole recipe, 2,138 calories, 37.3 grams of net carbs for the whole recipe, 196 grams of fat, and 60.8 grams of protein. Now, it's important to keep these totals in mind. For the moment, we won't be able to figure out the macros for each portion until we know how many cookies we make, and we're going to divide these numbers, each one of them, by the number of cookies that we end up making. I don't know how many that's going to be yet, so stick around for the end of the recipe and we'll figure out the macros per cookie. How about that? Now here's our dough after an hour in the refrigerator. It's much less sticky, but we're still going to put it between 2 sheets of parchment paper to roll it out. This is going to make things much easier, trust me. Now, going to take a little patience at first. It's pretty stiff, and after a while, as you can see here, it rolls out much more easily. What we're looking for here is a nice, flat, even surface, and that's going to take a while. Do the best that you can, just like I'm doing here. It's not going to be perfect, that's fine. To check it, pull the parchment paper back once in a while and just give it a quick pat. You can run your palm over it, that also helps. In the meantime, you're going to want to preheat your oven to 325 degrees, that's 165 Celsius. And keep on rolling until you're satisfied with the evenness of the thickness of your dough. The thickness is really going to determine the number of portions that you have altogether in the end. There we go, look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Check it out. Now, here, this is going to be really easy to use. We're going to put this in the freezer for 15 minutes. When it comes out of the freezer, it's nice and stiff, and it's going to be really easy for us to cut out our cookies with. Here I've got a star-shaped cutter, but it really doesn't matter what shape your cutter is. I'm just going to press it down in there, and as you'll see, it's going to make a nice, neat cookie out of this sticky dough, and carefully lift it up, just like this. We're going to put this on another baking sheet that's lined with parchment paper, and very carefully place it onto that sheet. There we go. And then continue with the rest of the dough. Now what you're going to end up with once in a while is a piece of dough that looks like this. We're going to fold it together. We're going to use every bit of this dough. So basically what I want to do is just fold it together like this and roll it out again. Here I'm going to put it in the middle of the parchment paper, remove it from the baking sheet, place another sheet of parchment on top of it, grab my rolling pin, and just roll it out again, just like we did the first time. And we're going to do this until, of course, we're out of dough. Now here we've got our piece of dough. We're going to pull the sheet off of the top, and let's see if we can cut out a Christmas tree shape here. Push that in there, and it doesn't really come off there. The dough is really too soft to work with, so we're going to stick it back in the freezer for a few minutes before trying again. Now here, just to figure the macros precisely, I decided to go with a small cookie shape. These are candy canes, and I've ended up with 37 cookies here. That's 37 portions. It's really quite good. And you can see here I've got one that I kind of made from the ends of the dough. It's a little bit deformed. That's okay. Now, what we're going to do with these is we're going to put them in a preheated 325 degree oven. That's 165 degrees Celsius, just until the edges of the cookies start to brown a little bit, just right around the edge right here, and we're going to look for that. Here they are, right hot out of the oven. They're fairly delicate when they're hot, and we want to cool them off. We're going to not touch them for 5 minutes. And then after that 5 minutes, we're going to slide a rack underneath them and let them cool the rest of the way. Well, all right, all that's left to do is to give them a taste. Check it out, I got a little piece here. Oh yeah. Really nice. Has a really lovely buttery flavor. Of course, there's that vanilla. Little hint in the background of that almond extract. I love it. Listen, we got to talk macros before we go. This made 37 beautiful little cookies. So here are the macros per portion. Each cookie has 58 calories. It has 1 gram of net carb, 5.3 grams of fat, and 1.6 grams of protein. Thanks so much for joining us here today at Tim Talks Cooking. Before you go, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Helps my channel grow and it helps you find my videos, especially if you click on that little notifications bell. It'll let you know every time I upload a new video. Don't forget to like the video. If you do, give it a thumbs up, share it on Facebook, and s'il vous plaît, to comment here. That would be great. Anyway, we'll catch you next time at Tim Talks Cooking.